A blessed day to everyone. Again, this is Sir Ravi Nugas, and we are going to discuss about Music Grade 10, 20th Century Musical Styles for Quarter 1, Week number 3, and it's all about musical compositions. MELC explains the performance practice, including the setting, composition, role of composers, performers, and audience of 20th century music. Let us start our discussion with a review. Let us identify the following elements of music. Number 1, what is the element of time in music and deals with tempo and meter? Well, the answer is rhythm. Number 2, what element of music deals with linear horizontal presentation of pitch? Yes, the answer is melody. Number 3, what element of music shows relative loudness or softness or quietness of music? And if your answer is dynamics, you're correct. Number 4, what element of music deals with the verticalization of pitch to form a chord? Yes, it's harmony. And number 5, what element of music refers to the number of individual musical lines, melodies, and the relationship of these lines to one another? And the answer is texture. Our learning objectives on today's video are: number 1, determine the following musical composition contributed by 20th century musical composers. Number 2, listen and understand the different characteristics of 20th century music. Contemporary composers are very creative in terms of dealing with the musical composition. They try new things and depart from the conventional way of writing. Some compositions that result into new variety styles of music. Some contemporary composers took advantage the product of technology that provide a lot of new things in the perspective ways of writing some composition. Here are some list of their famous works and composition. Let us now listen to some 20th century musical piece and describe the following elements present on that piece. Impressionism. The title of this composition is Clair de Lune, meaning Moonlight. Was written by the Impressionist French composer Claude Debussy. Clair de Lune takes its title from an atmospheric poem by the French poet Paul Verlaine, which depicts the soul as somewhere full of music in a minor key, where birds are inspired to sing by the sad and beautiful light of the moon. And there's a trivia about this particular composition. Did you know that Clair de Lune was used in Twilight films starring Robert Pattinson and Kristen Stewart? This piece was played when Bella visited Edward in his house for the first time. Let us try to listen with this musical piece, Clair de Lune. Now let us analyze the piece Clair de Lune based on the following elements of music. Of course, the title of musical piece is Clair de Lune. And if you try to listen to the tempo of Clair de Lune, it is slow. The dynamics of the musical piece is in moderate. The melody is conjunct and the harmony is dissonance. There is only a piano instrument used, therefore, the timbre is instrumental. And since the musical piece uses a piano with the chords and a melody, so therefore, we can consider that the texture of Clair de Lune is homophonic. And the style, the 20th century musical style, is Impressionism. Let's try to listen with another type of musical piece coming from Expressionism. The title of this musical piece is Pierrot Lunaire, a composition by Arnold Schoenberg. Pierrot Lunaire consists of 3 groups of 7 poems. In the first group, Pierrot Lunaire sings of love, sex, and religion. In the second, of violence, crime, and blasphemy. And in the third, of his return home to Bergamo with his past hunting him. Sprechstimme is a German speech voice in music, a cross between speaking and singing, in which the tone quality of speech is heightened and lowered in pitch, along melodic contours indicated in the musical notation. Now let us listen and analyze this song, Pierrot Lunaire.
Den Wein, den man mit Augen trinkt, gießt nachts der Mond in Wogen nieder. Eine Springflut überschwemmt den stillen Horizont. Man mit Augen trinkt, gießt nachts der Mond in Wogen nieder. Der Dichter gegen die Andacht treibt und rauscht sich an den Heilkranker.
So the title of that musical piece is Pierrot Lunaire. And the tempo is fast. The dynamic is extreme dynamics. Why? Because there are parts wherein soft melody or very soft melody is applied, then suddenly it became very loud. The melody is disjunct. And if you notice, the song is in harsh sound or in atonal, so therefore the harmony is dissonance. The timbre used in Pierrot Lunaire is vocal and instrumental, and the texture is polyphonic. The 20th century musical style is Expressionism. Next musical piece is coming from Neo-Classicism. The title of this is Allegro Barbaro. Allegro Barbaro is a short dance-like composition written by Béla Bartók that at first sound like it's pre-composed. However, one can begin to find traditional structure to the piece by looking at the harmony. Allegro barbaro is in ternary form, which means that there are two distinct themes but one is presented twice. Let us listen to this musical piece, Allegro Barbaro. Let us analyze the following elements of music present in Allegro Barbaro. The musical piece is Allegro Barbaro. The tempo of that particular piece is fast, and the dynamics used is loud. So as you listen to the melody used in Allegro Barbaro, it is disjunct. And the harmony, there is a dissonance. The timbre use is instrumental and the texture is homophonic. And we classify Allegro Barbaro as Neo-Classicism style. The next musical composition title is The Desert. It was written by Edgar Varese, known as the father of electronic music. Desert, written by Edgar Varese in 1950 to 1954, is his first used for magnetic tape and precedes his masterpiece for tape poems, Electronic, by 3 years. The piece is organized as alternating episodes for winds and percussion. Let us listen to this song, Desert, by Edgar Varese. Let us now analyze the following musical element present in deserts. Well, the tempo is in moderate, and if you try to listen to the dynamics of the song, it is loud. The melody is disjunct, and the harmony is dissonance because it creates a harsh sounding harmony. Next, we have the timbre is instrumental and the texture is polyphonic. And yes, it is belong to electronic music since desert use the magnetic tape or the tape recorder. And last musical piece is a controversial 4 minutes and 33 seconds by John Cage. It is coming from Chance Music. 4 minutes and 33 seconds musical composition by John Cage, created in 1952 and first performed on August 29 of that year. It quickly became one of the most controversial musical works of the 20th century because it consisted of silence or, more precisely, ambient sound, what Cage called the absence of intended sound. Let us try to listen and analyze this musical piece, 4 minutes and 33 seconds.
The material of music is sound and silence. Integrating these is composing. I have nothing to say, and I am saying it.
Analyze the 4 minutes and 33-second composition made by John Cage. The tempo is not applicable. Same with the dynamics. Of course, including the melody and harmony. And also the texture. Because we didn't hear any sound except for the ambient of the surroundings. But the timbre is instrumental because John Cage used a piano, a stopwatch, and a recorder. And the musical style of 4 minutes and 33 seconds is chance music. I hope that you learned something in analyzing the different musical composition coming from the 20th century musical style. Hope that you learn on this video lesson. Thank you very much.